Where's Charlie now? Chapter 2. Graham's Adventure. Graham ran back upstairs as soon as he'd eaten his dinner and finished his homework. Will Charlie still be there? I hope so. He opened his bedroom door, and there was the cat, curled up, fast asleep, in the middle of his bed. He picked him up and gave him a cuddle. Graham, I'm going to have to teach you how to pick me up. This yanking me up by my front legs doesn't cut it. I'm sorry, Graham said. Don't speak aloud. Your brother will come in and see who you're talking to. I can hear your thoughts. Just think the words. Like this? That's perfect. You can pick up young kittens by the scruff of their neck. That's how we carry them. Adult cats are different. Hold the front of my body with one hand on my chest, and take your other hand and scoop up my hindquarters. This way, my back legs feel secure as they're on your arm, and my front is supported. If you're lucky, I'll put my front paws around your neck and purr at you. If I purr, you've lifted me correctly. Graham rearranged his arms. That's perfect. What do you want to do? It's way too hot to play outside. Can we go somewhere cooler? Hold my tail. Graham's tablet was open on the bed. It powered up all by itself. Charlie was stepping into it, and Graham was following. Graham! Graham! William shouted. Darn it! My big brother's ignoring me again. He opened the bedroom door just in time to see Graham's shape flicker, become transparent, and shoot like a beam of coloured light into the tablet. He ran over. It was too late. Graham had gone, and the tablet wasn't even switched on. Where's Graham? God, and how? I need magical help. I know. The treasure fairy. He turned and ran into his bedroom, closing the door behind him. He didn't want any inquisitive parent accidentally seeing what he was up to. He opened the second drawer and felt underneath for the quarter taped to the bottom. Drew a sigh of relief. It was still there. The quarter was magic. The fairy had thrown it at him many adventures ago. He rubbed it. The night light flickered on the other side of the bed, and the fairy materialized. She was still a little taller than William, but much more delicate in stature. The yellow and green butterfly wings were outstretched and fluttered in an unseen breeze. She looked at him. The large green eyes blinked as she shook her long, fine, light brown hair. She was wearing a simple brown toga, and a bag of coins hung from her leather belt. It's been a while. What can I do for you? She asked. I hope you've changed your password to get into your castle. The treasure fairy smiled. I have. Now that's not the reason you summoned me. No, it's not. Graham has gone on an adventure without me. It's not fair. Well, it isn't with a good fairy or me. How do you know? I saw him disappear into the tablet. Describe what happened. He sort of faded away, and the residual particles went like a beam of light into the screen. That's not fairy magic. I have no idea what's going on. Do you want me to see if I can find him? Yes, please. The fairy form flickered. She flapped her wings and was gone. 5 minutes went by, and William was getting agitated. Finally, the treasure fairy reappeared. Graham's in Tokyo. The wise fairy saw him in her magic snow globe. Do you mean Tokyo in Japan, or Little Tokyo in downtown LA? Tokyo in Japan. How did he get there? I have no idea. He could be in trouble. Can you take me there? The fairy held out her hand. "Take it." William did, and they both faded from view. Graham wasn't in his bedroom any longer. He was in an empty office. Charlie was there, his ginger tail high and wafting, his ears perked up, listening. "Quickly! Someone is coming! They mustn't find us in here!" Graham followed the cat out and into a restaurant. "Why are the tables so low?" "We're in Japan. They're chabudai. Most Japanese people kneel or sit cross-legged directly on the floor or on a cushion to eat. It's tradition. The sushi's really good. You have to try it." "What's sushi?" "It's raw fish." "Ugh! That sounds awful." "Trust me, you'll like it. They usually feed me the offcuts." "You've been here before?" "Yes. It's amazing how many people all over the globe have downloaded my picture. Here I remind them of Maneki Niko, Japanese cat figurines that are lucky charms to their owner. Since my fur is ginger, almost the color of gold, they hope I bring monetary good fortune and prosperity as well. They're really nice to me." "Do you speak Japanese?" "Mentally, there's only one language. Listen with your mind. Don't try and speak, though. You could be lucky, and they'll understand American." Charlie nuzzled the closed door. Graham opened it and found himself standing in a rear alley. A truck was backing up and stopped. The driver honked his horn, got out, walked around the vehicle, and opened up the large rear doors. Graham shivered. "Why has it gone so cold?" Charlie answered. "It's a cold truck, a moving refrigerator. He's delivering the fresh, raw fish. You have to watch." "No, I don't believe it. I can hear his thoughts. He's planning to short-change my favorite restaurant. Well, one of them." "How?" Graham asked. "Scales will read heavier. He intends to surreptitiously put a weight on the scale. Oshi usually buys 50 fat pounds of bluefin tuna, but he'll only get 45. That's a rip-off. What can we do?" "Expose him." "What's bluefin tuna?" Graham asked. "It's an ocean fish which can grow to over 1,000 pounds in weight." "Wow, that's big." The kitchen door opened. A chef came out wearing a white apron and a traditional white hat. 2 cooks followed, carrying a large tray. The driver smiled and bowed. Oshi reciprocated. The driver started to cook big chunks of tuna and add them onto the scales. Graham carefully watched and spotted when the dead weight was added. The scale read 50 pounds. "Now!" Charlie pounced forward and jumped into Oshi's arms. The chef caught him and smiled. Even the driver turned. In the confusion, Graham bravely walked up to the scale and took off the dead weight. The driver grabbed at him and shouted in Japanese. Oshi noticed the scale reading change. He spoke quickly in Japanese. The 2 cooks dropped the tray and restrained the driver. Graham held out his fist and opened his hand, revealing the weight. Oshi smiled, bowed to Graham, took it, and placed it on the scale. The scale hand went back up to 50 pounds again. The driver struggled to get free, but the cooks held him tightly. Oshi pointed to the kitchen, and the cooks dragged the driver inside. Oshi followed, barking orders in Japanese. The kitchen staff rushed in different directions. 2 went outside to bring in the tuna before it spoiled and secured the truck. Oshi put Charlie down and walked away. It wasn't long before he came back with a saucer of milk and a plate filled with choice tuna cut into small pieces. Charlie started to purr and then crouched down to eat and drink. The small pieces of fish quickly disappeared. Oshi presented Graham with 2 tuna rolls. Graham didn't know what to do. He'd never eaten Japanese food before. Oshi showed him by popping one into his mouth and eating it. Graham smiled, picked up the other, and nibbled at it with a scowl on his face. The scowl changed to a smile, and he popped the rest in and chewed happily. "Come on, Graham. It's time for us to leave before the police arrive to arrest the driver. They might want to ask why an American boy is wandering around Tokyo without his parents." He sneaked away and returned to the office. "Hold my tail!" Before Graham realized he was zooming into the screen again, he started to say, but didn't finish asking, "Where's now?" William, the treasure fairy, materialized in the shadows of the alleyway. Police officers were everywhere. He whispered, "Where's Graham?" The treasure fairy disappeared for an instant. "He's not here. The wise fairy informed me he's now in Rome." "Rome? Italy?" "Yes, we've only just missed him. Hold my hand." William took the fairy's hand, and they faded from view. That's the end of chapter 2. Now, if you listen in, next week you'll hear all about chapter 3, The Adventures in Italy.